Oh,
What is up, man?
it's almost Christmas time, man.
I am excited for Christmas this year. I mean, it doesn't feel like Christmas, but I don't know. It'll be a nice time of year, I think.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Like I have waited for this particular title for at least a couple of years now, and this is gonna be my big Christmas present to myself. So we're gonna find out like what all the fucking hubbub is about. Oh wait, I can't say. I've got to limit the
Yeah.
amount of times that I curse on this stream since we got like I don't know if it's 10 or 20 or how many we can do, but yeah, I got to make them count.
Yeah, I mean, this wasn't really planned for me. Mondays is not a good night for me to do anything because I get out of work late and I have to be up at like 3:40. So Mondays for me is a no go. But when I got home, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna record a quick unboxing of my Severin title. I don't have a lot. I'll just do it quick, and then maybe I'll drop it like tomorrow or something. And then when I got home, I saw that you were gonna do a live unboxing. So I was like, you know what? If we can keep this thing short and sweet, I'll jump on this and just get it done with you.
Yeah, I mean, it was like I was saying, like I've got like the box, the Maestro bundle, whatever you want to call it, to unbox. I don't have anything else. Like we already did the Vinegar Syndrome stuff last night, and I didn't have that much Vinegar Syndrome stuff anyway. So,
Hmm.
I'm pretty much. Did you see this though? I don't know if you saw the stream.
I watched some of it last night, and then I fell asleep.
People
We
have
got
been going on about this, like in terms of the movie itself.
Oh, Blood Beat. I have the.
Yeah,
I think I have just the regular blue, but I don't remember much about it. I thought it was like, was it breakdancing or something? What is it? Is it
it's
Christmas? I think it's a
it's
Christmas.
Christmas theme, like demon, some sort of like demon comes back on around Christmas or something like that. I've never actually sat all the way through this movie, but this is the VHS
VH.
that they put out. Vinegar
Did
Syndrome
it?
put out. And that's
Did
the
that
last
sell out
sale.
already?
It already sold out. Yeah, all of
Ooh.
them sold out. Yep. So, but that was pretty neat, I thought. And then I know you
Yeah.
got to have the Silent Night, Deadly Night collection already.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I
So
already watched all three. I think that they look great, man. They look really good. I think it was a really good release. They really, I mean, for that price point, man, three movies, and to be honest, like they're cheesy, but for an '80s, or late '80s, early '90s horror, like I think it kind of just fits with a lot of the stuff I like. So I was fine with it.
yeah. So let's see who's in the chat tonight. We got Magic Hands. Good to see you,
What
Magic
up? What
Hands.
up?
We got Rob Zilla. It's good to have you in here, Rob. Lepke Vision. As always, good to see
What's
you.
up, buddy?
MacBoy Color. Scratch Burno. Ryan Cheek said he just got his Severin. Didn't realize that Action Mutante was postponed due to some unknown reason. Yeah, it's probably some sort of rights issue they're getting into.
Mm.
Adrian James is in here.
What's up, man?
Gus is in here. Hall and Oates is in here. Matt's in here. A lot of people in here. Okay, so we better bring the fucking goods. Oh no, I used up two. See, this is the problem.
I
I
know.
gotta have like a counters. the dead pit like swear counter. Like if it gets to like 10, then we have to like shut it down or something. I got to figure out
Oh
a way.
man, I swear I think it was after that last stream with Metal Man. I think you guys are on watch right now.
Man, yeah, I don't think you could have said. I mean, per capita profanity, I don't think you could have gone much more than he did that night. Ken's in here. All right, people are jumping in left and right. So, I don't know how you want to do this in terms of just like.
We could slice it open, maybe go right after four flies first, dissect what we think about it, and maybe then we'll just go out at what else we got. Because I think I only have 2 titles in here. I think.
Okay.
So if you want to do it that way, we can do it that way, or we just show everything we got and save 4 flies for the end. Because I know we both got that.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's fine.
All right.
Because that's the big title. Nobody, I don't think, cares that much about anything else.
All right, let's see.
So, of course, they put like 4,000 things of popcorn in here.
I got the peanut job going on over here.
Yeah, look here. Oh, my God.
Oh, baby.
It ain't Severin if you don't have like 3,000 of these and 10 stickers.
I don't see a sticker, man. No, I got one.
You go. I got the purple one. What'd you get?
So you got the Born to Be Rad one, and then I got the Dead Pit one. So they knew what they were doing.
Right.
They knew what they were doing over there.
All right, let's see if I can get to the extra stuff. Wow, they really wrapped the piss out of this. Okay. All right. So, just a couple things to get out of the way real quick.
Mm-hmm.
This was the Maestro bundle, like I said, and it came with, and this one's actually pretty cool. This is the Dario Argento Severin Hall of Fame pin. So that's pretty neat.
It's good for an Argento guy. That's perfect, man, to have that. That's cool.
Yeah. And then the 4 flies pin, which is just the eyeball with the 4 flies on it.
Nice.
That's pretty cool. And you can see in the little pupil there the knife. That's
knife. Yep.
So you got that. And then I've been waiting to see this movie since we did the Argento series of streams. This was like one of his biggest bombs, by the way. But I actually really love this cover on this. I don't know how the movie's going to be. I've never seen it. This is Argento's The 5 Days, which is one of his only non-horror films, which was about the Italian Revolution. And it really shit the bed at the theaters, and so he never really like tried to do anything like this ever again. But I hear some people say it's good. I hear some people say it's not that great. It definitely bombed in the theaters, so we'll see.
I mean, if it's for someone who's a Argento completist, it's good to have that, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, and this is the first time I think it's ever been out on anything like this. And it's got the soundtrack CD with it. You got the Ultra HD and the Blu-ray with like looks like 6 or 7 different like special features. So Argento really loved this movie, and he made this movie with his dad. He was a producer on it, so I would say he probably has a lot to talk about with this.
Nice, cool. Got some people popping in over here. What's going on, everybody? I see you, Good Real. I see you, Jay Flesher. What's up, everyone? I see Wes in there. What's up, dude?
Oh, heck, I didn't even see all these people coming in. Yeah, so, yeah. We are going through this. And then the only other thing that came in this bundle, aside from 4 flies, was... Get all the popcorn off of it. This sucker.
Ooh, got the book. I was going to say, I saw all that bubble wrap, and I was like, mine didn't get bubble wrap, but that's for the book.
They really duct taped the piss out of this too, or like package taped it.
Ooh, that's some good ASMR going on right now.
You ready for it? Oh. There we go. I wanted to make sure that nobody got into this easily.
Hey, Beauregard's asking, what's the best copy of Opera? I don't know. I only have that big Anchor Bay double disc. Does Opera have anything else besides that? Did it ever get a Blu-ray yet?
Yeah, and somebody just put that out again. It was oh geez, it's Region B though. It was I want to God, was it Imprint or 88
Mm,
Films or something? They put out like four Argento movies in like a box set. Do you remember seeing this? It
mm-mm.
was like they put out Four Flies. It was Shameless. That's who it was. So Shameless right now has a version that has like Four Flies, Opera, Suspiria, and something else. And so if you got a region free player, I would say that would be the way to go. If not, then
They're saying Scorpion
Ronan,
did it and
yeah,
Ronin, yeah.
yeah, they did it too. So yeah, but this is the I really wanted this too. This is the Argento autobiography.
That's a
Fear.
nice like that's just like a really cool looking cover, everything. I like that.
I wish to God he would have autographed it. That would have been amazing, but
Holy
unfortunately they
shit.
didn't do that. They did not do that. But
Are you sure there's
that's
nothing in there, huh? No auto in there?
no. I'm pretty sure like people would be flipping out if there was, but let's see.
Did I tell you I almost met him once and I chose not to kind of?
No, but you
Dude,
should.
he was at a convention and I had my Suspiria poster and he had like a long line and I was like, you know what, I'll get it the next day. And then I went back and like he was only there like that one day or whatever, and I was so pissed that I was like, shit. Um, and I never saw him again at any conventions. I don't know if it's a
I
rare
don't
thing for
think
him to
he
do.
ever. Yeah, I don't think he ever did like another one. Like
Mm,
he did a series of like Texas shows, I think, at one point, and then he
This
no showed like a ton of shows.
hmm.
And he just doesn't get over to the states
This
much
was
anymore.
Monster Mania. I'm thinking it was probably like 2010, if I had to guess. Maybe like Monster Mania 2010 or something when he was there. He was like one of the main guests. He had like a whole room by himself. Um,
Yeah,
yeah, so that was it. That was the only time I ever had the opportunity. But
I would love to have met him. And so he doesn't speak very good English though, so I don't know what kind of interaction you'd have with
mm,
him. But I mean, just to be able to meet him would be amazing.
yeah.
I forgot about the Scorpion set though. Somebody's talking about Opera on here. They had an amazing like deluxe edition Scorpion did, but it's out of print now.
Oh
You
wow.
can't like it goes for like $100 something like that. Like if you try to buy it on eBay, but that's out there somewhere. Yeah. But anyway, what did you get before we get into this
Oh, the
last
only other
one?
thing I got, which I'm actually kind of excited about, it seems something. It's pretty cheesy, but I watched the trailer and I was like, dude, this seems right up my alley. And that is my grandpa is a vampire.
Oh
Um,
Lord, yeah.
this seemed like something I would totally dig. It's actually Scorpion Kids. Severin Kids. It says on it. See, it's got the little like I can't
Yep.
say the Severin Kids logo. I have a couple Severin Kids titles, and I haven't been disappointed yet. I have Peanut Butter Solution, which is a huge one, and then I have one called like Magic Carnival, which was actually really good as well. So this looks pretty cool. I watched the trailer. I know Christian grabbed this too, and I think we're gonna do like a first time watch along, probably the first week of January. So I'm gonna save it till then. But yeah, I'm kind of curious about this. I'm hoping it's cheesy fun in the sense of like a Mac and Me or something like that, where it's just like it's just so hokey that you kind of always want to rewatch it. But I've actually never heard of it until now, so I don't know if you have any opinion on this.
I'd never seen anything about it until Severin put it out. But then I thought to myself, man, that looks like something Severin would put out. Like it's
It's
kind of
wild.
perfect. Yeah.
So yeah, that's the only other thing I got. So like, um, it's the dude who played Grandpa in the Munsters is the vampire here, so that's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Um,
That's
so I don't
got
know.
to be that's got to be amazing.
I'm hoping it's a hidden gem. So
So what in terms of Argento films and things like that? I mean, I don't even know, Gary. Are you a big fan of Argento or like?
You know, I'm a big fan of Suspiria. I mean, I have all the Argento stuff, but like I told you before, like I wasn't into it heavily. I had it, I watched it about once, and then I was just kind of like, oh, some of those were good, some are not. And then they all started blurring together on like what each one was. Like I think I got Inferno and Phenomena mixed up for years because the only one that really stood out to me with were like Suspiria, what's the other one that the Crystal Plumage, like that one kind of
Oh,
stood
Girl
out to
with
me.
Crystal Plumage. Yeah.
Opera. So then I said to you actually because you were like you really should go back and rewatch those. And I said, you know what? I'm going to just start getting all those Arrow editions and just start checking these out again in 4K for the first, like not for the first time, but like really diving deep into them. So when it comes to Four Flies, I own it on DVD, but the quality on that DVD is garbage.
Yeah.
So I remember watching it in the back in the day and just not really getting into it because I'm like, it just looks like shit, sounds like shit. So it's in my collection. It's been sitting there for years, but it was like the only way to get it. So when they announced this, I was like, you know what? Like, this is my opportunity to get this and almost like rewatch it for the first time because I've talked about this before. There's been a lot of times that I haven't cared about a movie based on the quality of format I had it in. That when I see it in HD or whatever, I truly love it. Like Tourist Trap is like a prime example I always bring up. Like I hated that movie for so long because the DVD was so dark and
Yes.
gritty that I never appreciated it. And as soon as I got the HD Blu-ray, I was like, wow, this is a fantastic slasher. I love it. And
It's
I'm
kind of
hoping
a
to
yeah, it's
kind of
kind of
get a
a
similar vibe with this, where I'm like, you know, this is way better than I ever thought it was because it's actually clear and I can see what's
Tourist
going on.
Trap is a perfect kind of example of that too, because like you can't really tell a lot about what's going on in that movie if you have like one of the older DVDs.
Mm,
But like once you see it in H, it's kind of a classic. And I tell you
I
another
agree.
one like that too is we were just talking about this earlier tonight on Dana Stream. Is To All a Good Night. Like when you actually
Yep.
see that movie on Blu-ray,
Oh
you're
yeah.
like, wow, like there's like so much stuff going on that you would have never noticed because all the other editions of it were awful. Like it's just
Hmm.
like the grainiest film ever.
Oh yeah, it's that Hess one, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's the
Oh, dude,
David
that
Hess strip.
you're right.
Yeah,
Yeah, that changed it so much when it went up to HD. So that was definitely a prime example for sure. So I'm kind of hoping that with this now, obviously we know the biggest issue right now with this is the false advertising type thing. And I still looking at this now do think that there was a little bit of false advertising going on with this thing. They chose their words weird. They posted it in a weird angle. And I'm just curious to kind of dig this open. I don't know if I'm going to unbox the whole thing. I don't know if you're planning on doing that, but I just want to see like, is this a $60 set or not?
might as well because like I'm definitely gonna keep this. Like I mean, it's not something I'm ever gonna sell because like okay, so Shameless had the only other version that really was popular, right? Like that came out, and I never got that version. I always heard people talk about it, and you had mixed reactions. Some people said it was great. Some people said it was trash. Like so, it was one of the ones, and I think it was Region B too. I'm not entirely sure, but I think it was. I just never bothered to get it. So I never had this movie on any format until now. So definitely keeping this anyway. And looking at it, like I was telling Wes this too. Like yes, like they definitely did some what's the word constructive editing when they took pictures of this thing.
Yeah.
But I like it though. Like I like the design on it and everything. Um, it's not what they advertised, but
Mhm.
I don't mind the design of the actual slipcover. I'll say that
Oh no, I
slipcase,
think the
slipcase.
design is good. It's just it's a little bit of a bummer that I'm not going to be able to put this kind of. Then it's not going to just aesthetically look good with those other big box sets from people like Synapse and Arrow and stuff, which I kind of thought it was going to match those to at least in some in some way. This is just like a normal,
Yeah,
basically Blu-ray or 4K. It's a little thicker, I would say. It's
it
pretty. It's a
is.
little bit thicker. I mean, the quality of the slipcover is better than you're getting on normal Severin stuff.
Yeah, it's not. Here's the one thing I hate about Severin though, man. When
This
they do
this
this
this thing.
damn thing, yeah,
Yeah.
whatever this is, because eventually what's going to happen, and this has happened with a bunch of their titles that I've had, is the glue will start to come off of this, and it will start to like split from the case, and
Mhm.
it's like I've had at least two or three of those do that. So I hate however they're doing this. I wish they would stop with this
Mhm.
bullshit that they're doing with these cases, but it's whatever.
I see my
Hey
boy
Adam.
Adam's in here. What's up, Adam Gill? What's up, Brendan? Um, we got a super chat from Anthony. What's up? He said it is a bunch of pepperoni spaghetti bullshit. It kind of is. I mean, I'm not going to get rid of it just because again, this is going to be the best way to see this movie, and I'm hoping that I really enjoy it, going forward. But you know, hopefully this is also is still considered limited and has some value to it, where if we decided that we wanted to part ways with it, it would have some value. My biggest concern is that we paid this money and it's going to be readily available again. Like they made it. There's
Oh,
no way this was an exclusive.
listen. Now I give you a perfect example of that bullshit, man. Like right now, did you see the Cauldron Films thing?
Yeah, I haven't placed my order. Did that sell out or no?
No, what they did was they extended it. They were like, at first they were like, "Hey, this is limited. We're only going to have this for this weekend. Like, it'll never, it won't be back after." Kind of the same
Oh,
thing that Severin
really?
did. And then
Shit.
they were like, "Nah, like, there's been a lot of people say that they want this, so we're going to extend this sale into like until it sells out." Basically, is what they were saying. So yeah, like I don't think anything's limited anymore, man. There's always going to be something that comes
Yeah,
along, like.
I mean, they had to have had more printed that were bought, number one. And number two, I know for a fact there's some people returning this for a refund based on the false advertising. So what are they doing with that stock? You know what I mean? Like these are definitely going to be at conventions, no questions asked. Now, what happens from here? Do they just put out no slipcover editions and just mark it down $10? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm looking at it now. I mean, there's a lot in here. You got 4 discs. I mean, which is pretty impressive. I mean, the first one is Ultra HD. Second one is the Blu-ray. Third one is another Blu-ray with um, features, and the fourth one is a soundtrack.
Hold on, I open this shit.
Ooh,
So is Severin going to be the only label to have sought after a
probably
generality that
not.
just isn't available anymore? No.
I just think they need to start choosing their words wisely. I said even before they had this big convention exclusive Blu-ray I bought, and then 6 months later, it's on the website in like a nice slip cover that never came on the version I got. So it's hard to take
Oh,
people serious when they do that kind of stuff.
look here, look at. There's this little card in there. Ain't that nice? Is that worth $60? No.
Nah, this is not a $60 release. I mean, it might be
No,
cool and
man.
all, but I'm thinking this is like even with shipping, if this came to like $50, I would even say it's passable. To me, this is like a $45 release, maybe.
I I gotta say, like looking at this, like this is the first time I've opened it and looked at it or anything like that. This is not $60, man. Like I've
No.
seen like any of that shit Arrow put out is like way more impressive than this, and like it's probably a little bit cheaper. So like the discs themselves are just black, just kind of like solid
Hmm.
black with the fly on them or whatever.
I mean, case in
And
point, remember all the shit they were giving Synapse about the Tenebrae and like how
yeah,
expensive it was and all that
yeah,
stuff.
and then you get nothing with this really.
Hmm.
I was trying to be like optimistic because I didn't mind the cover that much. I didn't even mind the packaging that much, but I paid $60 for this, and there is no way this is worth $60. It's just not.
But I mean,
Like,
they can come at you and be like, "Well, it actually wasn't 60." But when you incorporate shipping, it came
yeah,
at $60, right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
you weren't going to get away from that. And I talked to somebody the other day on my stream that had talked to Severin about this release, and they said how much time was put into this and how much they had to do. So is that a reason that it's so pricey? I guess, but at the same time, like I'm sure there's probably every release has a lot of effort and time put into it. I'm sure, but yeah, I'm gonna keep it, but I kind of have a little bit of buyer's remorse right now, just based on the packaging and stuff alone. As far as if I watch this and am blown away and be like, oh my god, this is how it's meant to look. I love this movie. Then I won't feel so bad. But again, I don't remember this movie much at all because the DVD that I had was just so crappy that I have nothing to compare this to. So this is like I finally have it in an edition that's pretty watchable. So
I mean,
um,
I think it's one of like his best early movies just for the ending of the movie alone. And I've wanted to see it in a version other than like, streaming online for a long time. So I would have, bought it no matter what, probably.
mhm.
But I think that it's really kind of crappy that he did this. Like that uh, I don't want to say that he purposely set it up to be misleading, but it kind of seems that way with the way that it's advertised. And even if he didn't, there's no
The
way.
the only other way he could have made it worse, I think, is to have that image with the where it looks really thick, and then on the bottom had like the 4 discs with like that little card, like on like displayed
Yeah,
down.
yeah,
Like how Arrow does it. Like that
yeah.
would only be, and then it says like exclusive slipcase, all this stuff, because then it looks like you're getting like a booklet, but it's really like a piece of cardboard.
He
Like
could
that
have
would have
done
been the
that.
worst. You would have had 4 discs, the cardboard like on the floor or whatever. Like that would have been the more ideal like situation where it's like, screw you guys, because that's what Arrow does. They lay everything out to kind of show you what comes in there. And I mean, they could have easily did that because this thing does have 4 discs, which is a little bit impressive. And the fact that it's 4 discs and it's wedged inside the standard case is pretty. Is
It
pretty
reminds me,
crazy.
like the way they did that reminds me of, you remember when they used to do the DVDs of like the multiple different like titles that everybody went crazy for there for a while, and they would shove like all of
Oh
them
yeah,
into
yeah,
that
yeah,
one
yeah.
like
The Walmart bin
yeah
dumping one. Yeah.
standard case or whatever. That's
Blood
what it kind of
diner.
looks like.
Give me that blood diner and that ghoulies go to
Blood
college. Give me that.
exactly. So okay, there's people. I agree with this too. Someone says it should have been 35. Planet Mono says it should have been $35 to $40 tops, and that's
But the thing
exactly
is,
it.
I think you're probably right. But what is an average? Isn't Severin a little bit pricey anyways? Like with
Yes,
their
they are.
stuff.
I
So
mean,
is 40 like the norm for them? Because if that's the case, then I would see this being more. But I definitely think this was a very misled situation with this. And somebody made a good point. Like they said, listen, if they said how much time and effort went into this release, then why did they only release it for a weekend? That's a little bit weird too. That you spent all that time to just be like, oh, it's only available for a couple days. Sorry,
now
you know.
here's when you're gonna know that they're absolutely just full of shit. Is when they come back and have like a standard edition of this at some point. If they do that,
Oh,
man,
they got it. Oh, no question. They probably will
then
have. It'll be 2 discs. It'll have like the features disc and like the 4K disc, and probably no slip, and then it'll be like cheap. But at the same time, like I mean, I don't know about you, but I mean, even if the soundtrack is great, like I'm not putting this somewhere and playing it.
the
So I could have
soundtrack
done
is
without.
fine. I mean, but it's not like
I'll
it's
never
not
listen
like
to it,
yeah, it's
but
not even as good as like Opera or Inferno or Suspiria or any of those other ones, really. So I mean, it's not anything that's gonna blow your panties off or anything. Hold on, let's see what we got here. So yeah, CK's not giving up on this at all. The wording on this side is 100% misleading. Carter says so. Yeah, Carter put like pretty good email to him. I think.
you know what we should do? We should lay it out like the Arrow one with all the 4 discs and the thing, and like take a picture and just like my cave, it's so sick.
The packaging is pretty much the same as their Changeling 4K. Even the slip feels the same, just no circle cut out. That might be the same
You know what you should
setup.
do? You should take a picture of yours where you stand this up and then have the 4 discs on the ground, the cardboard, and then put the pin and shit down there and take like a
That's
picture.
right. Like look what I got.
They can be like, how'd they fit all that in that little box? Like a fucking pin.
Let's see. Planet Mono says, but Severin charged like $50 for Santa Sangre. They had the same amount of disc and was 4K with better packaging. Yeah, that's it's weird, man. I don't know. I think it was just based on the name, the Argento name, really.
Somebody's asking who did the soundtrack. I'm looking at it right now. Help me out here. Ennio Morricone.
Yeah, I mean, he did the Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. He did the Thing. He did all the Clint Eastwood spaghetti western stuff. I mean, he's an amazing composer, but you know, it's not it's not his best score. I'll put it that way. And charged $25, would we all be pissed if he charged $25 without all this other stuff?
I mean, I think that the extras would be a must. I don't think anybody would give a shit about the soundtrack if it was here or there. I mean, I wouldn't. What they could have did is maybe even just did like 2 versions and you choose the one you want, right? Like that would have been a better situation than do this
Yeah,
and
this is
then
what
do it
everybody's doing now, though. Like this
right.
is the new trend. Is like they're going to have it a limited availability, And then what they're going to do is, and unfortunately, Synapse does this.
Yep.
Cauldron's going to do this.
Yep.
A bunch of Arrow's done this. A bunch of companies have done this, and they're going to say like, this is it, and then they're going to come out like in a couple months with like a regular standard edition.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have a problem either with Synapse charging like $40 for the stuff they do, because they really do like go crazy when they put something out. Like, I mean, it's the packaging and stuff. You've got a full booklet. Go back and look at the Tenebrae, release.
I have it right here. I have Phenomena right here. Let me grab it and just show you the comparison.
I mean, it's crazy the stuff that they put into the releases as opposed to this.
Like, you got this bad boy. Let's look at the difference. Like,
exactly. You just look at it that way alone. And I'll bet that cost almost exactly the same amount, if not maybe a little bit less.
Yeah. Like, I could literally fit this inside this box.
Yeah. So, and in that one, you've got like a full booklet that's got like, liner notes and stuff like that.
Yep. And there's, it's 3 discs.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, I'm going to watch it. I mean, I'm not going to return it, but I'm just hoping that at least this is some kind of limited thing where it's not going to be all over the place. So at least it gives you a little bit of like, hey, you know what? We got it. It's unavailable now. I'm glad we grabbed it. You know what I mean? Like, that's kind of, as a collector, that's kind of what I hope for, just to give you a little bit more peace of mind that like, okay, I spent $60 on something that's pretty limited. It is what it is. I'll move on. But it's just kind of bummer, because then, next time they do something like this, everybody's going to think twice about it and just be like, oh, I'll wait till they put out another edition for cheaper. But did you end up getting the Cauldron? What was it? City of the Living Dead, right?
I got it as a Christmas present. I'll put it that way. Like, I didn't buy it, but I know that somebody got it for me. So
I haven't got it. So is it still available right this second? Because
yes,
I totally missed the whole thing.
They extended the sale, so if you want to get it, like, basically what they were saying is it's going to sell out. Like, they already said that. So if you want to get it, I probably would, because it probably will sell out, to be honest.
I'll get it tonight probably before I go to bed.
But like $30 on him.
I remember Tenebrae and stuff. Remember like Amazon had it cheap compared to like the store.
Yeah. Well, they had 2 versions of it too, right? Like, they had one that was like $60.
There was 2 versions,
and then there was one that was like 30 or 40. Yeah, and I don't know like what the real difference was.
There was something. What just came out? Maybe I already got it. I bought something from Diabolic the other day that was supposed to be... Oh, man, I forget what I ordered from them. Something came out recently where you could get 2 versions, like a limited edition version or a regular version. I remember I got the limited, but I don't remember what it was that I grabbed. What would it have been? What would have came out recently that was like more of an overseas... Well, it was an overseas release, because that's why I went to Diabolic to get it.
Oh, shit.
Do you remember...
Yeah,
like probably like a week ago, I think maybe Orbit was putting it out. Oh, what was the one that Orbit was doing? Because like, remember they said that they wouldn't bring it to the U.S. Second Sight. Who did it? What was it?
Oh God, hold on, I'll look.
The one that you did that they refunded you. Remember? What was that?
Yeah, for some reason it's not coming to me at all.
I can't remember either. Hey, chat, tell us what just came out that Second Sight said. Martin.
Yeah, Jesus Christ, dude.
Yeah.
How the hell? I just ordered that.
There's just so much coming out. That's why, man. Yeah. So that I'm excited for that. I don't know when that's coming, but yeah, it's another big one I just ordered.
So there is, for some ungodly reason, man, 110 people in this chat right now. So let's go ahead and I'll go back through this stuff that's in this set for the people that have just like come in more recently. So if you bought the Maestro bundle, which was like 120 or 30, I don't remember exactly how much it was. It was way too damn much, so in hindsight. You got the Four Flies pin. You got the Argento pin, which I actually kind of like that. You got, of course, Four Flies. You got Argento's other flop, one of his only flops, The 5 Days, which is not a horror film. It's more like a drama. And you got his new, or newish, autobiography, Fear. So
Wow, that's
that's what we've been.
and they said that that was all of that was supposed to fit inside this little box. Remember?
That's, that's right. Yeah. Fucking hell.
Hey, it's like look at how thick this is. Like it comes with a huge book. It comes with 2 pins, 4 discs, a
Yeah.
card.
CK wants me to tell everybody that now's probably a good time to sub to both of our channels at Born to Be Rad Born, the number 2 Be Rad, also over at Dead Pit, so you can sub to all those channels. And I'm pretty sure he wants me to hype up a bunch of shit that we're getting ready to do,
Yeah,
but we'll do that a little bit later. Yeah.
yeah, we'll do that at the end. We don't want to stay on much longer, but we'll do that at the end. But yeah, guys, definitely sub to both channels. We've got our own goals that we're trying to hit, and the month is running out really quick. So any sub counts because both channels have a lot of stuff still before the end of the year. So you guys definitely want to be tuned in for that.
So here's my little experiment that I'm going to do, though. I just thought about it. Like, I'm going to go on Severin. I'm going to go on Vinegar Syndrome, like after this stream. And I'm going to go on Synapse and Arrow. And I'm going to average out what the average cost is of like a new 4K Blu-ray kind of release from each of the like company.
Just
And
be
kind of,
mindful because I think Vinegar Syndrome's only doing partners right now, so there's not much on there. But here's another thing, really quick, before you continue, dude. People are selling that Roadhouse for like 150, $120 on eBay right now, and people are buying it
why?
because Severin is doing that like it's doing that partner label, so people think it's sold out. They don't see it on the
Jesus
site.
Christ,
So
man.
like people are posting out of print, sold out on the website, go check or whatever. People go to check, it's not there, so they're buying this thing for like
Like,
$160.
oh, God.
Man, it's wild. Like, so I mean, either one or two things are gonna happen. When it comes back, it's gonna be sold out, and people are gonna be like, damn it, what'd I do? Or people are getting screwed left and right on that. I mean, granted, it's a fantastic addition, but guys, wait for January. I think it's still going to be on the site once they get all their stuff back.
Dude, are you selling it? You got it, don't you?
I'm not selling it. No,
I would
I
sell the
have it.
damn thing and go back
Well,
and
then I'm
rebuy
afraid.
it.
Like, imagine if for whatever reason they're on to something. Like, I go back, I sell it, and then also I go back on. It's like it really is sold out. Like, I don't know. I don't know if I don't think it's sold out.
I don't think it. No, man. They probably made like 10,000 damn things. Like, oh my god, I never would have thought in a million years anybody would do some shit like that. Though, like think that just because the
Yeah,
partner site. But I guess if
yeah,
you're not familiar with how that site is set up and what they do, yeah, I don't
yeah.
know.
So I guess like I don't know. I see my buddy Adam in here. He's a big VS guy. He's my buddy that we go down to the archive and stuff. So I mean that's the thing. Like I guess if I wanted to, I could sell it for $160 and just rebuy it. Like I don't know. Unless people are see, I hate doing that shit because I feel like it's screwing people over, but people
It is screwing
are
people. And that's kind of what everybody's doing right now. Yeah.
yeah, Wes is gonna sell off that other thing too. He's gotta
I kind of don't blame him for that though,
oh
because
I
that
to be honest, like it's cool to have just to say you have it, but I have a slip cover on it, dude. I don't need a naked one. You know what I mean? Like I don't need that. Like it's got a slip, it's fine.
you don't want to take
That
it in there and like play it in front
no.
of your family. Look here. I got this
Do you want to
thing.
watch this one?
Look,
I mean,
just,
it's cool. It's cool to say you have
look
it
here.
for FOMO and whatnot, but like in all actuality, if I had it, I would have probably sold it for sure. Because I mean, dude, you paid $6 for it. You make 100. That's still a huge,
That's insane amount of product. Yeah.
like big profit. And then you got Wes over there who wants to sell it for like 600. So he's making like 600% of like whatever he got it for.
And you kind of had to be like crazy to do that anyway. I mean, because like it was literally air, and they were just like
Yeah,
nobody knew what it was. Nobody knew how it connected to anything, and like everybody was like, "What in the hell are they even doing?" And so many people just kind of like
I
passed
was
that
one.
by. Yeah, I was too. But like, I mean, if you got that, then good on you because you. I mean,
Oh,
hello.
I know people are pissed about it. I don't blame Vinegar Syndrome at all. Like I said in my stream that I did, I said, listen, like I give them props for long-term booking, man. That's on me. It's on me for not for just being like, that's stupid. I to them, I'm like, bravo for thinking so far ahead. Like
Yeah,
I think it was smart.
I should have sold my dick, Damon. Yeah, I. Here's the thing. I got some interesting news about that. So, Severin is not well known for their customer service. I'm just going to tell you. Like several other people have sent emails to them about like the Four Flies release, and they've just kind of been like, well, tough shit. Like, send it back, and we'll give you a refund or whatever. Like, whatever you want to do. But my dick demon has had some problems, and it's not really been standing as erect and proud as it was. So I you can go on our Instagram page. It's a good time to promote the Dead Pit Into the Dead Pit on Instagram. You can go on there and look where I sent them an email about the dick demon situation, and they were actually like, this.
Well,
They were like, this email's hilarious. Like, this is
yeah,
great. Like, we're gonna send it off to a company. I think it was called Little Shop of Gore or something like that.
dude, that's the company that did my Freddy phone. They
Oh,
they
okay.
did my Freddy phone, that company, so that they do good work over there. But I mean, talk about you charmed them so
I
much
must
that
have. And then, so they were like, the last email that I got was like, Little Shop of Gore is going to send you a replacement as soon as they can. Thanks. And I was like, I sent him an email back. It's like, my meandering dick demon and I thank you greatly. And
well,
so, I mean, they said they were going to replace my dick demon. So we'll see.
so you know what though? I mean, I think once you do it, do like an unboxing, do a comparison, and then maybe you can make a little bit of money off, Uncle Bill's limp dick demon. Maybe that's
I'm
like a, you
one.
know,
It's going to be a highlight of my life to get those two dick demons and like set them side by side, just so you can
one way.
see like the difference.
It's like a Michael Jackson variant or something. You have, yeah.
Yeah, it's exactly. And I'm sure I will sell that to whoever's interested in the limp dick demon.
I think whoever's the biggest UB fan will want that
That's
in their
true.
collection for sure.
Oh, JS says, wait, what was the invisible slip for? So if you don't know this story, Garrett, tell them.
All right, so the invisible slip that nobody knew what it was for, $6. Everybody was kind of like, that's stupid, and then eventually nobody heard anything about it, so they thought maybe it was just some kind of like funny donation to Vinegar Syndrome, like nothing was ever going to happen. But they announced Invisible Maniac, and basically they said anybody who ordered that invisible slip, when you got Invisible Maniac, you would also get a slip cover that was lenticular. So basically, it mimicked the slip cover on Invisible Maniac, but this one, if you move it, the girl's clothes come off. So the fact that it was invisible on the April Fool's Day thing, and it's for Invisible Maniac, I kind of feel like it was kind of brilliant of
It
an
was.
idea. Like it wasn't it like made sense. It wasn't just it didn't seem like it was just thrown at the wall. And I thought maybe they were going to be like, oh shit, what are we going to do for that? But it seemed like it was something that was planned from day one, and I really respect and appreciate that. So the people that got it, that spent the $6, it was basically made to order.
Yeah.
I talked to some people in the know, and I tried to get my hands on one, and they basically said, listen, what was ordered is what was made. So like there is no extras hanging around. So in all actuality, people that are completists when it comes to Vinegar Syndrome, like if they don't have that, they're going to definitely want that. And it could become the most valuable slip in the whole library because it was so limited. So that's what they did. And again, I recommend now, anytime they try to pull a funny maneuver like that, buy whatever it is they're promoting, you know?
Yeah, I mean, at that time, we really thought that they were just trying to like get you to buy air. Like we were like, is that what they're doing? They just kind of want you to just like,
Yeah.
yeah, like think that there's an like it's kind of like I thought it was a joke or something. But
Mm-hmm.
like you said, long term booking wise, that was an amazing idea. Just to be like, months and months down the road, we're gonna like hit them with this invisible
And even
maniac.
Rob Zilla said it was called Invisible Slipcover Prototype.
Yeah,
So that was, it was well thought out, saying, hey, you know what, we've got Invisible Maniac coming out in the future, and we're just going to do this. And I think it was very smart, clever thing for them to do, and it just gives a little bit more, you know, limited esque edition on a lot of their stuff, which is already pretty valuable in itself. Now, before we kind of bounce, I just want to talk about, I did a stream with Ryan from Disconnected, and he's really big on like the back end kind of stuff. He talks to a lot of people that work for these companies, and he's really into like all that kind of stuff. So it's interesting talking to him and getting a different perspective on a lot of things. But he also made really good points, is that he thinks that Vinegar Syndrome right now is that they're like hyped. Like this is they've hit the ceiling right now. They've got things like Roadhouse and stuff coming out, and he's nervous that they are going to kind of, there's only one way to go when you're at the top, right? It's down. So he's just afraid that that going forward, they might try too many things that that may turn people away. So like now, if you notice, a lot of the limited edition stuff, the slipcovers, there's more of them now. So like they want more people to be able to get the slips. You look
Yeah.
at that, and it's like it could be a good thing, or people are like, well, F it, I'm just going to wait to Black Friday because these things aren't going to sell out. And then you've got people
Yeah.
getting it at a discount. And then maybe people are kind of like, I'm not going to do the Vinegar Syndrome game anymore because they're not as limited as they once were. Like, there's a lot that could go wrong because I feel like, I don't know, I feel like some people collect Vinegar Syndrome for the collecting aspect to say, hey, look what I got, rather than like, oh, I actually like this movie and I want to have it. Like that's what I think. And they're coming out with all new labels. Like they're coming out with VSL now, which is like a new label a new line they're going to try that they're going to try. So basically, if it fails, they're not going to do anymore. But then you look at it from that standpoint, and I said to Ryan, if I think this is going to be limited, maybe I'll buy these, because if it dies and you say, well, I've got the only 2 VSLs ever made, as a collector, that's something cool to have. But if everybody's got that mindset, then they're all going to buy it, and then it's going to continue on, right? So it's like a weird dynamic, but he thinks that they might be doing too much. And what's happening is, if you're a subscriber, you're getting nothing anymore. You're only getting standard releases. So it's like they're kind of shooting themselves in the foot.
I
I mean,
like I 100% agree with that guy too. Like, and I've been saying this forever. Like, because Michael Phelps used to tell the story about what happened to Anchor Bay and why they went out of business, and it's exactly the same story as what's going on with Vinegar Syndrome. Like, they had all these like cult releases that they did amazing with, and like they showed that you could have like cult titles and horror titles and make a profit. So they kept making money and they kept getting bigger, and then they started buying up all these like bigger name titles, and it was costing more and more money, and they were putting out more and more product, but they weren't making the profit that they used to be making because the rights cost more and they were making more titles, and not. And I think exactly what he said, like, collectors want to collect things that they know are eventually going to go out of print. This shit ain't never going to go out of print. Like, you make 10,000 copies of something, like, it'll take years for that to go out of print, man. Mm-hmm. Like, it's just not the same kind of thing anymore.
Yeah, I think that they need to ride a wave that's working. I understand as a business, you always want to grow, but I mean, at the same time, you don't want the collectors to now feel like it's going to be, he's afraid it's going to become a monopoly, right? And if it's a subscriber now, like, you're not getting VSUs, you're not getting VSAs, like, you're only getting standard releases, right? So now all of a sudden you're the subscriber, but you're paying for all this extra lines and stuff, which I think some people are going to be turned off like with that, because they're used to getting everything. So they're cutting corners in different places that I hope doesn't affect them in a negative way. But I mean, even look at someone like Scream Factory, when they were at their height, and they've been coming down ever since. I mean, it's weird because Scream Factory, I felt like, never evolved. Like, they've never really evolved, and they're still not evolving. They're just rehashing what they've always done.
No, yeah, you're exactly right.
Like, when they came out with those hard boxes for Halloween, it's like, oh, maybe they're evolving a little bit. And then they were like, no, we're only doing these for Halloween and Elvira, and then we'll pull it back. Like, I don't know. Like, they tried to evolve by giving up those posters, what are those posters that like were a big fail? Everybody's came damaged. Remember? Then they went back to their old posters. Like,
yeah,
it's a whole thing with them. Like, they're on the way down, and I don't know. I hate to see Vinegar Syndrome have the same thing where they start worrying more about quantity and less about quality, because as of right now, I feel like they're really good at what they do, and there's not a lot of issues with their stuff.
I feel like that this is inevitable for these companies, though. Like, once they get to a certain point, when they get to like a certain level of popularity, there's somebody like in the leadership that's like, all right, we've gotten here, we got to branch out, we got to do more things, but you got to be smart with what you're doing. You got to understand the audience too. Like, people didn't buy stuff from Vinegar Syndrome to be buying mainstream titles, man. They just didn't. Like, they were buying stuff that like just that nobody'd ever heard of, just to have like cult movies that you could watch that nobody's ever seen, and they were collecting like the slipcovers, and that was it. I think going mainstream is just really what's going to screw them over like that.
I mean, I'm fine with the mainstream stuff, but it has to be very few and far between, and it has to be something that makes sense for their line. Like, they can't all of a sudden do like fucking oh, we're gonna put out I don't know, Love Actually. Like they gotta be,
That
you
could
know, like they,
happen. Like the way
like they
that's
have to be
headed.
smart. Like they have to keep it inside their like window. Like, hey, like this is an accepted movie for people in this horror type genre. Like Roadhouse, I think fits in that. Freeway fits in that. Even Drop Dead Fred kind of fits in there. Like they've got to be smart with what they release, and they have to do it very few and far between. Because if they all of a sudden are only those kind of titles, I think that's really gonna, turn people the wrong way. I
I gotta
think.
say though, I'm starting to wonder if like labels like Vinegar Syndrome and Severin aren't just like cash grabs, to where
Could be.
maybe they know that this is a limited thing, like, and it's really becoming clear to them. So they're like, all right, we're going to jack up all the prices of this stuff. We're going to start trying just as much stuff to screw people over as we can, just to like make as much profit as we can, like really quickly, and then just they know it's gonna,
Close shop, right?
yeah, they know it's gonna end.
I mean, it's a possibility. I mean, the physical media game is weird right now. In the mainstream world, physical media is dying, but in this whole of physical media, I feel like it's stronger than it's ever been. So it's a weird dynamic of like what is to come. Like, is it going to be just more underground and like stuff like this, and we're getting cool additions, or is everybody, like you said, just trying to get what they can get until it's time to close up? I mean, I don't know.
I don't either, but it'd be interesting to hear from some of these people on the inside about what is their game plan. Like if they would actually talk about it, like why are they doing the things that they're doing right now? Like I don't know what Severin's like response would be. I don't think we'll ever get anybody from Severin on, but Vinegar Syndrome maybe at some point.
Yeah, and I think Wes is right. Like the partner label thing is too. It's not that's ridiculous. It's just weird to me. It's just interesting. Like why they're doing that. But I've got something that's supposed to be going on my channel, maybe even this week. That hopefully will shed a little bit of light on that. But I'm working out some kinks with it because I want it. It has to do with the partner label situation. So, but I'll let you guys know as soon as I have confirmation on that. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if this VSL thing is going to take off or it's going to flop. I mean, I don't know if we need another limited edition Vinegar Syndrome thing besides the VSUs and the VSAs. I don't think we need another one to
Well,
try to collect. And
we're gonna find out one way or the other whether you like it or not. Like they're gonna shove it down your throat for a
I
while.
think my favorite, honestly, are the VSUs. Like those, the you got Roadhouse Cloak and Dagger. Like even though you got
Yeah,
six
Cloak and
six
Dagger was
six string
amazing.
Samurai in there, but like
I even
Beastmaster, like I'm cool with those four. Like great box art, the magnet, you get a bunch of stuff. Like that's my favorite line right now from them. Like I like that better than the VSAs.
the Golden Era physical. I kind of agree with that.
Oh, definitely.
We don't need another one. Yeah, kind of agree with that too.
Um, Joe
Joe,
Jack is a good point.
yeah,
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 that's what's going to happen, and I think, and that has to do with kind of what I'm going to hopefully talk about. But I think it's trying to take over where that partner label is, and maybe they're going to start kind of getting some of that partner label out of there. But what else is interesting is in January they're going to be doing like $10 titles all month or something because they probably have so much back stock now that they've raised all these numbers, right? They're
that's
probably like,
exactly what it
holy
is.
shit, like we've got a
Yeah,
lot of stuff back here. Let's start getting them all out of here for $10. So I would definitely keep your eye on those sales. If you can get some of this stuff you've wanted for $10, I mean, it's all worth it for sure.
and about probably 6 to 8 months ago was when I really started to notice like it went from like 3 to 4 thousand was the normal kind of rate that they would put these out. Like that was the limited editions to 5,000, then to 6,000, and then now it's like between with Roadhouse it was like 10,000. It
Mm-hmm.
just keeps going up and up and up, and like they've got to do something, man. Like they've got all these editions that people just aren't buying. Like they not at that rate, because it's a small niche kind of market right now.
Mm-hmm. I see Phantasmat ask what's going to be $10. I think they're going to be a lot of the old titles, probably the ones that don't even have slips anymore. I think they're just trying to get some backstock out of there. They said every week they were going to announce a couple $10 titles for the month of March. Fun month of January.
Several can't closers to me just Franco films to put out. Yeah, that's true. Physical is a interesting. Physical media is wrestling today. Less people watch it today than ever before, but the diehards pay more than the product than ever before. That's exactly true.
Uh, Wes, yeah, you're right. Thumb up the videos, guys. I don't know how many people we got in here, but subscribe.
112.
All right, subscribe to Born to Be Rad. Subscribe to Dead Pit, and like these two streams. I appreciate it. We have some big goals and big vids coming up. What do you want to? Do you want to talk about what you guys got coming up?
So yeah, I was going to say this Thursday we're going to be partnering up with Rambo. For people that are not familiar, Rambo Raff #4 Life on his channel. We're going to be doing like a Thursday Night Thunder is what he calls it. It's a like talk kind of show. There's no format or anything. Like we just talk about like whatever comes up and comes to mind. Rambo's a great guy though. We've had like he's been on our show a million times. This is I think maybe one of the first times we've ever been on his stream. So this is going to be pretty awesome. So on Thursday at 10, please check that out too.
You got anything else?
Oh God. Uh fucking duck.
It's tough because you forget, and then all of a sudden you'll be like, "Oh yeah, I do have that coming up."
Yeah, I'm sure that there's other stuff. Hold on, I'll look on here. He kills me with all the shit that we're doing. But what about you though? You read off your shit while I'm looking.
What do you think? This Wednesday, I may have a show. Like I said, I'm working on some kinks right now. I may or may not. I've got some videos with my brother and his wife coming out that are like nostalgic, Christmas related. So keep your eyes out for those. This Friday, I'll be doing a full Corey Feldman retrospective,
Oh,
talking
hell
about his
yeah.
career, all of his movies, and I have a good panel of special guests, some people that are pretty close to Corey Feldman. So it'll be interesting to hear what they have to say. We just announced today that our next Rad Pack episode will be the 29th, which is a Friday. And we're going to be doing kind of like a secret Santa type deal where we each bought each other gifts and we're going to open them on camera and see what the other ones got them. So it should be pretty entertaining and pretty fun because again, I know them, but I don't know what they have and what they don't have. So it'll be
That's
interesting
true.
to see what we got each other. So those are the big ones I think that are coming up on my channel so far for the rest of the month. But they're going to be fun ones for sure.
So yeah, CK just reminded me one other big show that we've all got coming
Oh
up
yeah, that's right.
is the New Year's Day Vinegar Syndrome show. So it starts at 11:30 a.m. because their sale starts at 12 p.m. On that day. So yeah, that'll be like the big show that we'll do, and that we'll see what we can pick up for. Like you were saying, there'll be $10 titles and all kinds of sales and whatnot.
Yeah, that'll be the
The
big
big
show.
show. So, oh Jesus! So people are talking on here real quick about like I hadn't seen this yet either. So the Vinegar Syndrome subscription this year is going to be roughly around $980. Supposed to be. That's not that bad, man. If I'm
What
being
was it
honest,
before?
it was that or like maybe a little bit less. Like, because I remember thinking, Jesus Christ, like that's a ton of money.
But it's probably all well worth it at the end of the day. But you got to remember, I don't think that includes any special limited editions
It
anymore.
does, but I
Yeah.
mean, for just the regular shit, like how many titles do they release?
I mean, I do think that what's that one that we do, the pre-Black Friday thing or whatever, like that bundle was like a steal.
It was, yeah. It was 970. They raised it $5 if that's true. It was 975 last year. That's not bad. I mean, considering what that they're charging now, like that's not a bad deal. So anyway, though, that's what we got. We're right at an hour, so we
Perfect, man.
did what we promised. If anybody has any last minute, like in the last 2 minute questions that you want to throw in here, just throw them in here. And the price of a shitty used car is the price of their subscription. Listen, if we're being honest, like I'm not going to watch any event. Like maybe I may have two or three titles of Vinegar Syndrome in there that I've watched more than like once. It's usually stuff that you watch with people around or like something that's like fun
Mm-hmm.
to just kind of make fun of.
Hold on, I just saw a funny comment. LA Jewel said, I just got my wife's boyfriend to subscribe. He's a big fan of Rambo's channel. What the hell is his wife's boyfriend?
To what?
LA Jewel just said, I just got my wife's boyfriend to subscribe. I love it. What are you getting over there? Demands from the boss or what?
Me?
Yeah. You were looking down at
Oh
your phone. I was like,
no, I was trying to look up like Vinegar Syndrome titles and
oh,
stuff like that on here, but you can't look up jack shit because like I'd forgotten like that their partner label stuff is up.
yeah.
This is a good question though. How much will I take for the limp dick demon? Burke Jones, I don't know. As soon as I get the erect dick demon, then we will talk about that. How long do you think physical media? That question is not answerable because I would have thought honestly it already would have been.
hmm I mean, I hope it doesn't go away personally. I mean, it's been part of my life for so long, but I also hope that 4K is like kind of the last go around. Like, I really don't want to go through all this again. Like, I'm at a point now where it stresses me out when I just feel like I'm upgrading so much again, where it's like I just said, like I have every Scream Factory collector's edition, and now all of a sudden it's like I'm getting a little picky and I'm getting some of the 4K upgrades on some of my favorites, but I mean, it's just a pain in the butt. Like when you look and I'm taking out the Blu-rays to put the 4Ks in its spot and toting up the Blu-rays where I'm like, should I sell these? Do I not? And
Yeah.
it's just really getting tiring doing this upgrade thing. So I'm hoping that 4K format is the last of it, and we can just kind of run from there. That's my only hope. But how long can they run one format for? I don't know.
Jay Border, we actually did do a couple of different Anchor Bay specials. We did one with Michael Felser talking about Anchor Bay. We did one just talking about like Anchor Bay products and things like that
Mhm.
over the years. So yeah, go back through some of the archives. There's a bunch of Anchor Bay shows actually.
I mean, we've even
Uh,
talked about doing another one because we were
yeah.
just big fans so much, and there's such cool editions out there that we could showcase.
Apparently, apparently, she's pretty out of it. How long do I think that the Dick Demon will stay erect? I predict maybe 6 months. Like the new one, if I get a new one, will stay erect.
Maybe they're like reinforcing this one or something, you know?
That'd be awesome. Like steel reinforced Dick Demon. But all
God.
right, that's it. We'll end on about like an hour. So if you haven't checked out Born to Be Rad, check out Born to Be Rad over at Garrett's channel. Check out Dead Pit, Into the Dead Pit at Instagram, and yada yada yada. And if not, don't forget about the show on Thursday. Then don't forget about the big end of the year show where we'll be probably buying more useless shit and probably talking about like more useless shit coming out from Vinegar Syndrome. But until next time, stay dead.
Stay rad.
Give us the thumbs up,
Up your butt.
like, subscribe. And if you subscribe, here's something else you can do. Once you subscribe, you can click the bell notification, right? And it'll notify you anytime that Dead Pit puts up new shit.
Or don't. I really don't give a if you do or
I
not.
want you to. I want you to.
I don't care.
Let's keep our community growing here on
No,
YouTube.
I don't like it. I don't want you to do nothing.
Listen, they need to do that, pal.
No, don't you
Yeah.
dare touch it.
Thumbs up, subscribe, and click that bell.
Hey everyone, it's Oak Early Jaws. We got some great shirts for you. We got Faces of Death Part 2. We got Creepy Stories to Tell in Kentucky. The Colonel Would Approve. We also got DeadPit.com. We got Dead Pit Radio with the little fucking Dead Pit dude on there. We got It Never Ends, a Halloween spoof parody of the new movie. We got It at Night. We got the Rad Pack, Uncle Rad himself. It just gets better and better, so go on and get you some shirts over at Team Public. It just gets better and better, boss.
Thank you to all of our supporters on Patreon. DeadPitOnPatreon.com is the only place to check out a complete archive of the old Dead Pit radio shows all the way back from 2005 on, in addition to the midweek shows and fan commentaries, exclusive podcasts, and much more. Dead Pit on Patreon.com if you're interested. Tiers start at only $1.